So I know Reno Omokri of recent was employed by the APC to always come and clean his dirty linen. But sometimes you go too far. And Reno Omokri with this statement went too far. So concerning Anthony Joshua's case, he said yesterday we saw Nigerian working as he should be with Anthony Joshua. So this clown, Reno Omokri, argues that the response to Anthony Joshua's car accident demonstrates Nigerians functioning effectively rather than failing. He compares the incident to Princess Diana's fatal crash in France, noting that Nigeria's police and emergency response arrived quickly and transported Joshua to the hospital within minutes. Omokri emphasized that the death in both cases resulted from high-speed collisions, not emergency negligence or bad roads. He describes the accident location as a well-maintained highway and criticizes social media negativity and confirmation bias against Nigeria. He highlighted Lasema's consistent efficiency and urges Nigerians to acknowledge successes, act rationally, and take pride in building the country rather than destroying it. Now, he said Spain happened to Diego Jota, did Andres happen to Lisa Left Eye, and did America happen to Fast and Furious star Walker when they died in road accidents. Now, I think the real problem is the fact that Nigerians are too lenient and scared of a total revolution. If not, that is why we see people like this Reno Omokri and some other fanatics, come out to say those kind of things, to insult us with mediocrity, because you think Nigerians deserve nothing, but the day youth will stand, this kind of nonsense will stop. This is crazy. So you see this clown, an ambassador designate, comparing an emergency in Nigeria of 2025 end to that of France in 1997, over about nearly 30-something years difference. Yet in Nigeria, the horrific accident victims were left in the hands of unprofessional handlers, while in France, the professionals handled it within few minutes. Yet somebody died, but you cannot compare the unprofessional manners in which these two things were handled. So I get his point. This guy is hungry, a belle-faced man, anywhere belle-faced man, or Indomie hungry-sized man. So Nigeria may not have been painted in fairly yesterday by some news outlets, but what we saw was not an emergency medical response. This clown needs to know that good intentions do not cancel bad outcomes. Yes, because in the end, the bad outcome would have been. In trauma care, the wrong help can cause more harm than doing nothing at all. So that clown needs to also know that sometimes, honestly, leaving a patient where they are is safer than moving them badly, because you can permanently cripple them. It's like praising firefighters for arriving early, but they came without water. Yes, they showed up, but the problem remains unsolved. The way the accident victims, Anthony Joshua, was transported was deeply troubling. No neck collar, no spinal cord protection, nothing. That kind of handling can turn a survivable injury into a fatal one. That's not rescue. With all these kind of things that we hear a clown who calls himself an ambassador is saying. How can you imagine? He said police in the statement. He couldn't even mention ambulance. That is not a crime scene. Reno Omokri, you need to know that place was not a crime scene. It was an accident scene. And what we needed there would have been paramedics. Patriotism is not denying flaws. It is acknowledging gaps so that it can be fixed. Nigerian working once is not the same as Nigerian working well. The fact that it worked that day does not mean it's always working. So to me, Anthony Joshua picked up by the Nigerian police force after a car crash without getting a medical assistance, and this clown is saying, comparing that to foreign countries. The appropriate rescuer should be an emergency ambulance to be getting medical attention while driving to the nearest hospital. Never in this miserable life should you compare Nigeria to Ghana, not to talk of comparing it to France. What is wrong with this Reno Omokri? This man is such a disgrace to his people. Princess Diana died in 1997, and this is 2027. How many years? More than 30 years. How on earth do we compare response time of 1997 to 2025? This man must be living in the Stone Age. It's just so painful. Reno Omokri curse you like this, do you like this, right? Disgrace to your people. Your children will be shaming this, you behave like this. You see, look at the pictures. It was taken in the 90s, and the other one was just taken 28 years apart. The quality of the pictures indicate the quality of life in the respective countries. They see that one, see 1997 picture as a clear past 2025 picture. What I'm saying above is that this comparison is irrelevant. This is irrelevant. I don't understand. The emotion that they listen to this guy, they follow and they listen to this guy. That's when I say they're dumb. But this man said they're very dumb. And I can't just, at times I don't read what he's saying to the end before I move away, because I don't understand what he's saying. He contradicts himself. But again, I remember that he's doing his job because they take him as PR person, making all the claim dirty linen of APC. I thought after they gave you ambassador to Somalia or Syria as a reward for your urgent data boy, that you either stop or you slow down on all these senseless things you always say. all these divisive things, but man, you still continue. I thought it was joblessness I was causing it. Not that you have job, you are still doing it. It means that you can never change. No, Reno Omokri is a foul creature. Very disgusting fellow at that. For him to be coming out to say, what kind of this when somebody died. Imagine going through this length to defend a failed institution. Nigerians are using this opportunity to demand a better healthcare and emergency service, among other things, from the government. And he's here trying to that's like blame this guy is just a clown. I don't understand. Wait, is this man delusional or something? With lies again? It's an emergency scene that needs an ambulance with medical professionals on ground and not police, because it's not a crime scene to be shown on ID or Discovery. Then Omokri needs to get this. With all his schooling abroad, he still doesn't have that common sense. And you're also on this appointment, and don't be small thing, I pray make Tinubu win second time election so that you remain there, because whoever comes in there is taking you out. I don't understand if this man is just being intentionally dumb or this happens occasionally. Princess Diana died in 1997. This is 2025. How on earth do we compare the response time? This is very, very crazy. Reno Omokri needs to prove it that it was actually overspeeding that cause. He said they were driving far above the speed limit. What is the speed limit to drive on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway? And apart from the speed limit to drive on Ibadan Expressway, Reno Omokri should come and show us evidence, because he would always say fact check me. Evidence where they actually drove above the speed limit. Because running at 100 km per hour can also give you that kind of accident. And it's 100 km per hour above speed limit. I don't understand what this man is saying. Can we get the video recording of the accident and speed limit clocker to verify Reno Omokri's claim that it was actually overspeeding? Who knows? That guy could have been tipsy, could have been drunk. Who knows? It could have been a distraction. He could have been picking up phone. He could have been looking sideways when the accident happened. You're trying to match these two situations is ridiculous, as you've always been. You can sell sand as gold to foolish people, not to people like us. We're intellectuals. I'm just so disappointed that this guy still has fans on social media. So if it was in Britain, Anthony Joshua would have been seated in the car after the accident. Is that what he's telling us? If it was in Britain or Spain, that truck would have been parked by the roadside without any police coming to tell them to move that truck or them to throw it away. We can't be comparing France of 1990s to Nigeria of 2025. Government should be actively intentional in fixing our roads and improving our emergency system. If the road was good, the emergency system was poor, very poor. Even if FRSC did their job and they came there, they should have been pulling him out of the car where the accident occurred in and put him in front of another car. He should be laid on the stretcher in an ambulance. That's what Reno Omokri does not know. First responders in Anthony Joshua's case were street hawkers, roadside drunks, and locals. Yes, even FRSC officials got to the spot without stretcher or any rescue amenities. It was the hoodlums, the Agberos, that when the first person who got them follow safety. What is this clown saying? All the same, we understand, after all, you will defend your new appointment, otherwise it's the same shade who will be praising that will come and remove you from power. No, so really better for people like this kind of man. When we say they won't change, tune, because the person they don't appoint you for power. You run this country on that ground, these kind of things you are saying. Create no infrastructure to better the lives of Nigerians, because you praise the man as Nigeria is working. Meanwhile, Nigeria is not working. This is so sad. For a man who claims to be smart, you have done nothing but sound dumb whenever you twist things and start this, senseless comparison. I hope it happens to you too, so that you know how it feels, you know what people are going through when you come and praise these dumb people in power because you are benefiting from it. It's very sad. So the question should be, how long did it take the French emergency response unit to get to the scene of Princess Diana accident, and how was she transported? Which are the things that matter most? Sharp contrast to that of Anthony Joshua, and you see that there was 3 hours after, there was no emergency response there. FRSC, who had to control speed limits, were the ones who came and they put him inside another police vehicle to be going. Another propaganda. The police went there without an ambulance, and to do what now? To go and buy him, maybe to go and compress his neck and just finish him. I don't know how we allow dumb people like this to lead the nation. It's now, and the Senate conference, the Senate itself is filled of dumb people. What if he needed medical emergency? Just what if? And there you are comparing accidents of 2 decades apart, 3 decades apart. So this is so shameful. So we all know that Reno Omokri is defending his appointments as an image laundryman. However, in some situations, the best thing to do is just to shut up. Please, shut up, Reno Omokri. You sound worse than a clown in a circus. All this comparison doesn't make sense at all. You get people, they read this man post to finish. I don't finish and finish you. Just scan through and see make I come to the book because I dey vex as I dey see the nonsense wey the clown dey write. And some clowns also be supporting him and praising him. Funny enough, in his post, if you check all the comments there, most people were bashing him. Unlike when he talks about Peter Obi, most of them praising him. Because even the supporters are not beginning to say this guy, he sounds very stupid. Nigerians in the diaspora, you should better start praying that they don't send this clown to the country where you are living. You will be in trouble. Instead of him helping you, the clown will be looking for how to make the country look good, even at the expense of your life in the diaspora. That's it. Imagine they send this clown out to Somalia and they are flying Nigerians there, or to Libya. You come down and defend the government. Because this guy is anywhere but left this politician. Because of this Indomie hungry man size they've given to you, you are now enjoying. You are now exaggerating events as this to give the impression that you are working. That's not, to me, providing, presenting your country in a positive light. To me, that's foolishness. I don't understand how you can praise the effort of the Nigerian police and FRFC without, proper emergency gadgets to take care of. What if the guy had injured his spinal cord when they were trying to pull him out of the car? I don't understand. So if to Reno Omokri, the Nigerian police are the emergency responders who collect accident passengers from the scene to the hospitals, then Nigeria is truly dysfunctional. That's what he does not know that he's actually doing. Where are the paramedic services? He stays in the UK. If he has an accident, is it the police that will pull him out of the wreckage? They didn't even think that they could have, had some form of internal injuries. So they just put him there in front of another seat. Maybe make the rush, go carry that guy, go slam on that, make it just go by finish. So why was the truck even illegally parked there in the first place? Can't Nigerian safety told the truck out of that place? Nigerian ambulance, 3 minutes indeed. Shame on you, Reno Omokri, for saying the way, talking the way you talk. Even the blind can see that what we are saying is full of bull nonsense. No medical staff showed up. And it was moved too early. Yes, sometimes you may have to leave them there for them to be okay, to actually see if they have some form of injury. So, very bad take from this kind of man. It's very unintelligible, because why using 28 years ago accident to describe a situation that happened in 2025? Well, why in 2026? You are just a PR merchant. Anybody pays you money to PR for them. Be human for once, Reno Omokri. And also, Nigeria is not working at all. Yet, you've gotten ambassadorial post to keep you relevant because you've been jobless. I hope this country gets better, and I hope this kind of crazy clown is sent away from there. How can someone in his right senses, who has just been recently appointed as an ambassador, be comparing a car crash that happened in 1997 with that happened in 2025, 2 days into 2026? Make it make sense now. An ambassador, are you saying by tomorrow 2026 Nigeria will be 29 years away from France's reality? I don't understand. Why are people supporting this clown? So those who are yanking and pulling an injured AJ into another car, when you are not supposed to do that because you risk causing spinal cord injuries, were the equipment of the French, were the equivalent to the French paramedics that came there, and the car it was made to walk and sit in, was it an ambulance? He's not talking about all that. He never did he make mention of an ambulance in his crazy write-up. Yes, Lasema and the police did well for Anthony Joshua, and even to no safety, I won't lie. But millions of ordinary Nigerians still face slow emergency responses, bad roads, and underfunded services. And you see, sometimes you see people who are in the pool of blood. They'll be rushed on a motorbike to emergency units of hospitals. And this clown is not talking about this. When Barry was there, he was bringing out all of these things. So who is there now? They're doing it more. If truly our systems are working well, there wouldn't be comparisons at all. Road crashes happen every day, everywhere, across the world. None has seen this much defense on social media because we all see how prompt and equipped emergency services arrive. But today, what are we saying? This clown coming to compare. This propaganda is not helping Nigeria. It only gives false comfort to the government and that everything is alright. And Tinubu, in his clownish state, he's always in a sleepy, drowsy state. Think everything is working fine. Okay, this guy, something needs to happen to this man. For your mind, I think so you get working brain because, First Princess Diana died in a car crash in 1997. Why the car crash you are making comparisons to happen in 2025? What's the level of development between the two countries? Are we using as reference? What are we using as reference point? So if nobody had died in that crash and their manhood remains so recklessly and insensitively showed to the world, I would have maybe pardoned Reno Omokri a bit. However, as a patriotic as I want to be, it is rather insensitive to the two dead men, one of whom is Nigerian, and their families, for Reno Omokri to come and be saying this nonsense he's saying. This guy is just an empty brain. I don't know how many he got to the corridors of power from comparing France of 1997 to Nigeria. All this damage control episode for a failed country. You are really good and passionate, and this is your ambassador's job. When Tinubu give you, you've been so showing up. You don't show up before now, you don't continue to show up. And now, so they don't give you, don't take them to another level. Let me know love outside in the comment section. I know your boy Ernest Omokri and never your Koji. You should remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Signing out this. May Reno Omokri never happen to you. And may Reno Omokri never happen to Reno Omokri because he's a gunner.